Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Siti Aliyatul. In today's presentation, I will discuss an international journal article titled Active Listening, a Model of Empathy Communication in the Helping Professions. This article examines how active listening functions as a foundation for empathy-based communication, especially in professions where supporting others in the main responsibility. Okay, I will explain why I choose this article, what makes it interesting, and the main ideas presented by the writers. The first, why I choose the article. Okay, I choose this article because active listening is one of the most essential communication skills, not only in professional settings, but also in everyday life. However, many people misunderstand listening as a passive activity, when in fact, real listening requires mental effort, emotional awareness, and empathy. For helping professions such as counseling, social work, psychology, nursing, and teaching, active listening is even more important because silence needs to feel understood and supported. So, this article clearly explains how active listening works and why it is crucial in this field. What interests me? What makes me interested in this article is its strong connection between theory and practice. It explains listening not only as a communication technique but also a process that builds trust, reduces anxiety, and improves emotional understanding. The article also presents research evidence showing that when professionals apply active listening, clients feel safer, more respected, and more willing to open up. This makes the topic very relevant for anyone involved in educational, therapeutic, or social serving settings. And what the article is about. In general, this article explores active listening as a complete model of empathy communication. It explains what active listening means, what skills are required, and how these skills can be developed through training. The author also reviews several studies that show the impact of active listening on interpersonal relationship, discussion making, and emotional well-being. The article is structured clearly, starting from the concept of listening, moving to the components of active listening, and ending with real evidence from research. Okay, the difficult words. In reading the article, I found several academic terms that may be unfamiliar, such as empathy, interpersonal, clarification, summarization, and non-judgment, perspective, and cognitive engagement. Uh, these words are important because they represent key ideas that the author uses to explain the active listening process. Understanding them helps us follow the arguments more clearly. Next, keywords. Some important keywords in the article include active listening, empathy, helping professions, communication, listening skill, and reflection and non-verbal behavior. This term guide us in understanding the mind focus of the discussion. How communication becomes more effective when listeners are fully present and emotionally responsive. Listening as a communication skill. The article emphasized that listening is not passive. Research showed that people spend around half of their working hours listening, yet many struggle to truly understand others. Listening requires mental attention and emotional sensitivity. The article also highlights that being a good listener increases social competence, strengthens relationships, and makes people feel respected and valued. Awareness and mindfulness. One key idea in the article is that effective listening always begins with awareness. The author relates this to mindfulness, which has two main aspects: attention and acceptance. Attention means being fully focused on the speaker, while acceptance means being open to their message without judging. Mindfulness helps the listener notice not just the words but also the feelings and thoughts behind the message. Interpersonal listening. In any conversation, people switch between speaking and listening rules. Interpersonal listening means paying attention to both verbal message, what the person says, and nonverbal message, such as tone, facial expression, and gesture. The article also explained that good listeners are viewed as more trustworthy and credible, which is extremely valuable in helping professions. Definition of active listening. The term active listening was first introduced by Gordon in 19 and 1775 and is based on Carl Roth's humanistic psychological. According to this perspective, active listening means listening deeply, trying to understand the speaker's experience and responding without judgment. It requires acceptance, empathy, emotional sensitive, and the ability to reflect the speaker's message. Components of active listening. The article uses Hope model, which identifies six key components of active listening. The first, attention, focusing on the speaker. Second, non-judgment, accepting without criticism. Next, reflection, purposing the message. Next, clarification, asking questions to understand deeper. Next, summarization, reviewing main points. And the last, contribution to solution, helping the speaker think about next steps. Okay, these components form a complete step-by-step communication process. Attention and non-judgment. The article explained that attention is so through eye contact, body posture, and minimal distraction. Non-judgment means giving space for the speaker to express themselves freely. In helping professions, clients often feel vulnerable, so non-judgment is essential to make them feel safe and accepted. Reflection and clarification. Reflection involves repeating or paraphrasing the speaker's words to show understanding. Clarification means asking questions that explore their feelings or situation further. Both strategies help uncover hiding emotion, reduce misunderstanding. This is especially important for counselors, therapists, and educators. Summarization and solution. Summarization collects the main ideas and ensures that both the speaker and the listener have the same understanding. Contribution to solution does not mean giving advice, but helping the speaker think clearly and consider possible action. So, the active listening is an active process, not silent but deeply engaged. research findings. The article presents several research findings. For example, Levitt. So the listening skill improved significantly through training. Studies by Ichakov and colleagues show the active listening reduces anxiety, increases self-awareness, and improve the quality of conversation. These benefits appear in many contexts such as counseling, conflict resolution, parenting, workplace communication, and patient care. The article highlights that both the listener and the speaker benefit. Okay, conclusion. To conclude, the article argues that active listening is essential for empathic communication. It is especially important in helping professions because it builds trust, support emotional well-being, and improves problem solving. The article also reminds us that active listening is not an innate talent, it is a skill that can be learned, practiced, and improved. Overall, this article demonstrated that active listening plays a crucial role in effective human connection. Okay, this is reference. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.